That's where education takes place, at school, not anywhere else. And so, how do we maintain this cadre, this teacher at school, so that the quality which he has should be used to help the Zambian child? Simple formula. And that has been my preaching all along. Number one, we have primary school teachers with degrees, others with master's degree. But now they want to leave the primary sector and go to either colleges or secondary schools. It's not because they love to go and teach in those areas. No. It's because they are looking at the salary scale of a senior lecturer and also of somebody somewhere there. But now my preaching has been, let us ensure that the teacher with a degree but is at the primary school, let him or her be maintained at the primary school with that master's degree, with that first degree, and give him the salary scale of a senior lecturer where he wants to go. When you give him that salary scale, when you give her that salary scale, automatically they won't leave the primary sector and go elsewhere, because quality now will be maintained where they are. In that way, a Zambian child will benefit from this degree that I have. Because why do we go for in-service training? I go and get a degree. It's for the purpose of sharpening my skills at that level to maintain the quality where it matters. I can be the professor at a primary school, but getting the same salary as professor at the university. That's how it's supposed to be.
So in short, it doesn't matter where you are, secondary or primary, as long as you have advanced your qualification, get the salary scale
which is appropriate to you. That's the way to go. In that way, we shall reduce the migration of teachers from the primary school to secondary school. I am trained as a primary school teacher. I'm also trained as a secondary school teacher. So many people are leaving the primary sector to go into the secondary schools because of that reason. But I'm saying this is wrong. Let us maintain these men and women there, because that's the foundation of education, but give them the appropriate salary scale accordingly. If we did that, my dear, the Ministry of Education will be a model of excellence. Because the role of the Ministry of Education is to teach you to become a journalist when I want to be a journalist. But how do you maintain me at that level where I am? Give me the appropriate salary scale so that I don't run away from that area. And I want to emphasize this point. This is the vision for 2021. We must lobby for this important initiative. In that way, education will have delivered the best to the nation.
But P.S., I foresee a situation where the other teachers who don't have that qualification at a higher level will get discouraged because they are teaching the same subject, but the other one is getting...
No. They cannot be discouraged. And that's why, in some countries, you cannot teach in a primary school with a certificate or diploma. No. The minimum qualification is master's degree, because that is the foundation of education. And that's why we're saying, right, let's give these men and women an appropriate salary scale which will enable them, which will allow them to be maintained there in order to provide the much needed quality we talk about. Many people have been saying there is no quality in education. They don't understand what they mean. Quality is about a teacher. So how do we maintain the quality in that one? He must have a degree. He must have a master's degree to be maintained where they are. But give them an appropriate salary scale. I have a simple formula. For example, somebody gets degree today, they want to become inspectors of schools or DEBs. So now, they are very good science teachers, but they've left the secondary school to teach a Zambian child science. They are now inspectors of schools. They are DEBs, they are POs. But if you could say, because you are a good science teacher, we love you, we want you to be maintained to help a Zambian child. We'll give you a salary scale of the DEBs where you want to go. You see, no one will leave the secondary school sector and apply to become DEBs, because I have what it takes to become DEBs. But indirectly, we are maintaining you there for the purpose of providing much needed quality, not to yourself, but to a Zambian child who will become the DEBs of tomorrow and the doctor of next year. This is where Africa has gotten wrong. If we work in that direction, miracles will be happening in the country.
So in short, the education sector has to make it very conducive for the teacher to be able to pursue a higher qualification.
Exactly.
Is that happening?
It is happening. There are so many graduates in the primary sector, secondary schools, so many degree holders in Zambia today, but they are migrating from where they are to other levels, and sometimes if they cannot go to the level they want to, they get discouraged because your desires have not been fulfilled. So we need to restore the confidence into the teachers. We must give confidence into the teachers by ensuring that where they are maintained there. But how do they get maintained? By ensuring that those conditions are put in place. But also, I don't want to comment on this one, but I know the unions will elaborate further. They negotiated with government. Government has done the best. There is what is called automatic upgrading. Meaning, when somebody has got a degree, there will be an appropriate salary scale that they will be given. I hope this will be a step towards, maintaining quality where it matters. But I can't say much. Unions have to give guidance and explain to their members how the negotiations and the package is all about.
Now, in the same vein, a couple of years ago when I was in school, I remember there was this phenomenon of the youth. I don't know how many years ago, but it's a couple of years ago. the untrained teachers.
Yes. We do not have untrained teachers nowadays. Because we have
even in the community schools in the rural areas, all those are highly qualified teachers. In some community school, and that's why we want these people who develop community schools. Some of them are not doing it for the purpose of saving humanity. No. Before a community school is established, they're supposed to apply so that the devs and the PO can give consent by looking at the number of teachers who will be employed, who will be teaching in those areas. And if somebody does not have a qualification to teach as a teacher, nowadays we don't allow them because the teaching council, which is there, doesn't allow it, because teaching is now a profession. And you cannot allow every Jim and Jack to handle a piece of chalk. That is compromising the quality of education. So before a community school is established, we ask those who want to apply and those who want to establish those schools to apply, and then standard officers verify the qualifications of these teachers. That is what is happening at the moment. If there are community schools where we don't have qualified teachers, I'm sorry, this shouldn't be the case at all. And then what do we do? I remember very well when I was PO, because sometimes it's unfortunate in particular areas, we do the capacity building of the current staff that is there through what we call as in-service training at a local level, to equip these men and women with certain skills that can enable them stand comfortably or confidently before the class. Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, PS, we have, I think, adequately tackled the human resource for education. Now, you cannot talk about the education sector without talking about something very important, and this is infrastructure for education. Do we have enough schools in this country to, adequately house the learners?
Right. You see, government has done a lot in this area. We need to say thank you to government for what it has done. You see, even a little thing that somebody does must be appreciated. We must begin to see value in what others are doing. That's the life of a Christian. To say thank you. This was not there, but now it's there. Even if I don't like you, but if you are doing something that is good, I must appreciate it. That's what is necessary, in the life of Christians. This government has done a lot in terms of infra. We don't have enough time. I can count and count. You'll be amazed. While we know there are some other, small areas where we may not have adequate infrastructure, but generally, the government has done a lot, and it has continued to do the same. So many schools, so many secondary schools have been constructed. Modern ones in the country today, in all provinces of Zambia. Yes, and they are at various stages. Some haven't been completed, others have been completed. In terms of infrastructure, government has delivered, on the wishes of the people. And it continues to do like that. Now, where government may not meet all the needs of the people, we have also other private players, like the private schools themselves. They are also doing the best they can to supplement on government efforts. This is what is required in every civilized nation. So the collaboration between government and the private stakeholders has created an environment where learning and teaching is being provided without compromise. Yes, somebody said there's no fish without bones. Okay, there could be one or two gray areas, but that shouldn't distort the entire picture of government performance in the field of education. It's very, very, very important for people to appreciate the roles that government has provided. I can go a step further to the Ministry of Higher Education, though I don't belong there. Many schools many colleges have been upgraded into universities. This never used to happen. I'm speaking from experience. We have so many universities in the country. This is remarkable. Colleges of education. Oh, come on. We are there as a nation. Something has happened worthy appreciating. One day Jesus healed 10 lepers. And then after healing them, they went on their way. But somebody examined his skin and said, no, I was not like this. There's someone who has healed me. So he went back running and knelt down before Jesus and said, Master, thank you for what you have done. And then Jesus asked the question, where are the other 9? Where are the other 9? And said, they are gone. That question from Jesus reminds us of one thing. It pays to say, thank you. Sometimes I make people laugh when I say, those 9, where they had gone, reciprocity occurred to teach them the lesson of being grateful. So in terms of infrastructure, we are there, but there are some challenges again. I mean, you see, development is not an event, my sister. It's a process. You can't complete everything. It's not heaven. We are on earth with other challenges. So development is not an event but a process. What is important? Government is committed to doing what is good for the Zambian people. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, let's talk about the curriculum.
Very good. You are touching now my area of interest. Ask me. Yes.
Why, for instance, do we still have in this country 9 subjects?
Good.
10.
Good.
Is that realistic? Is it necessary to have that kind of...
Mama, it is not realistic. It's not necessary. It is wrong. This is the kind of curriculum that was left to Africa by the colonial masters. And the idea of them doing that was calculated.
Okay.
Yes. Reason is simple. You are learning 9 subjects. And even those 9 subjects, some of them are very irrelevant. They live with you with the curriculum of memorizing the rivers of the world. You learn about the prairies of Canada, how they grow wheat in Canada. You memorize the Mississippi River, where it is located, and the towns where the port it creates. Come on, guys. You are busy learning about the prairies of Canada, but the people of Canada don't learn about Mazabuka sugar plantation. I call this kind of a curriculum as useless one. It has no use. It does not give us hope for tomorrow. The use it is less. It doesn't give us a lot of hope. Now, if I know the longest river in Africa that it is now, what value does it bring to me? It is completely wrong. We will continue. We will be perpetual dependent on foreign aid because our system, our education system, does not generate a cadre who is a critical thinker, somebody who thinks deeply, who analyzes things. Look, Look at the curriculum that we have. Memorizing the legs of a frog. The colors of the butterfly. I'm just from...
Yes, what are you doing?
I'm coming.
What is happening? What are you doing?
No, I'm coming. Before the people understand this, we must talk and talk and talk. This year, we are going to come up with a very, that's another vision for the ministry this year. Okay. We are going to bring key stakeholders, not a funny meeting. No, serious one, to address the curriculum so that we know how many subjects should a child be given. And what should we do if a child has interest in music? Should we give this child biology? We are wasting him, his time. If somebody is an artist, should you give him physics? Wasting their time. Let them progress with music from grade 1, grade 8, 9 up to university. Don't demand chemistry from me when I'm good at music and art. You are killing me. I was in Northern Province as PO at one time. Here is somebody who comes to my home with very good pots that he had made using the skills that he learned while at school. I said, Wamdala, where did you learn these skills from? He said, when I was at Kasamba Boys, I was good at metalwork. Oh my God. Now, why didn't you continue with your education? He said, I failed in geography and RE. Oh my God. You see, this is how we have killed, many of our people in Africa. If we had allowed this man to continue with metalwork up to Form 5, this man today would be an engineer. And that's the direction we want to move to now. Why 9 subjects? Why 8? Why 7? Why even 6? It doesn't make sense. If somebody is specializing in agriculture science, let me go with agriculture science up to university, up to Form 5. If I do agriculture science for 5 years, don't even give me a certificate or a diploma. No, guys, it's unfortunate. You have empowered me with necessary skills to live an independent life. So what we should do now, at that level, I want to emphasize this point. This is my opportunity now. At that point, when a child has graduated, maybe from the college or maybe at school level with that skill, now the empowerment must come in. Are you getting me now? We gather them. How many are you guys? We are here, sir. You know how to drive the tractor. You know how to plant. You know how to harvest. For 5 years, we have empowered the child. From there, give them money. Empower them. When you empower these boys and girls, the money won't go to waste. You get the point? You are giving the people who have a skill. They understand. And you reduce unemployment. These boys and girls won't go to queue for employment. You have given them the employment from school. School must be used as a basis for creating employment by giving them the right skills. And that can't happen unless we redefine the curriculum. This is the direction we have to go as a ministry. This is the direction we have to go as a nation. Look, Mama, at grade 12, biology, you get the distinction. Chemistry, distinction. Mathematics, distinction. Physics, distinction. Adima, distinction. English, 7. And then we say, I always, when I'm talking about this, we say, you can't go to the University of Zambia because you don't have an O level in English. It's nonsense. Why? I was using English language to answer the questions in biology, chemistry, and physics. So why don't you admit me into the university on the basis of what I have done? You want me to continue writing English as if it is my language. This is a colonial mentality. We must move away from that as a nation and begin a new journey. We have disadvantaged many people in the country because of a faulty curriculum. Come on, guys. Proconsul Africaners, I don't see it myself. Homo habilis, it has never existed, but we make an African to memorize these issues which have no value. So to summit, we are going to call for a very big meeting. Universities must be on board, colleges and other key stakeholders. We redefine the curriculum of Africa, the curriculum of Zambia, in order to give hope to our children. People don't understand this. Sometimes what we see in schools now, we have production units. It's another way of moving into that direction. You give the boys and girls the skills that they will live with.
Okay.
Kabulonga is just here, Mama. Every week, as they sell tomato from the school, they are generating 18,000 kwacha.
Wow.
Okay, so if a child is empowered with that knowledge and is able to generate that money every week, will they be going for employment seeking? No, they will live. They will also employ others. This is the kind of life that we need in Zambia. But that cannot happen unless we redefine our curriculum. But I know some people will say, no, we did this ourselves. We are doctors. Yes, we are a doctor, I know. Yeah, but others are not doctors, but they have the skill. Yeah. They have mentality. They have the intelligence. Don't judge me on the basis of a grade 12 certificate. No, if I fail in geography or physics, it doesn't mean that I cannot do agriculture science. It doesn't mean that I cannot sing and also paint. No, I'm intelligent in that way. It's all that you gave me the wrong subject.
That's true.
Yeah, so my mama, my heart bleeds when I see thousands of boys and girls loitering in the streets. They haven't, you haven't completed their schools because maybe they failed at grade 9 or grade 12. So the examination system that we have also is very segregative one. This is a colonial mentality. In standard 1, subjectivity, we had the examinations at each and every stage, discarding other children. That was a colonial mentality. So examinations that we have today are not helping the nation at all. We must go back to continuous assessment, where you look at the practical part of it. Maybe 60% or 70% is practical. Then 30% examinations. In that way, we are going to value what is coming out of the brain of a Zambian child. That is the direction we want to move in 2021. This is the direction we want to take. In that way, we improve the economy of the country.
Great stuff. Sustainable indeed.
Yeah.
Now, the issue of examination leakages.
Yes, good. Mama, we know the nation must, the problem with education, people do not, immediately see the results of what we do. But if it is healthy, somebody is sick, somebody has died, and the impact is there. But in education, it's long term. Okay. And that is very, very effective. Okay? Look, for the past 2 years, we have had no record of leakages and malpractices.
Oh.
Okay, nothing. Wow. Nothing. But it's like, it's as usual. People don't see, what is happening. It's a miracle. We have sealed the loopholes. We want to thank the Exam Council of Zambia under the leadership of Michael Chilara, Dr. Chilara, and his team. We want to thank the security wings in the country. We want to thank the provincial education officers in the country, the DEBs, the head teachers. We want to thank ministry headquarters officials from the Directorate of Standards and Curriculum. Above all, I want to thank the teachers in the country, men and women who supervise the examinations. Let me also thank the boys and girls in the nation. We haven't recorded even this year leakages. Nothing. It's because of the commitment that we are receiving from these men and women in the Ministry of General Education and other cooperating agencies like the Ministry of Home Affairs. We salute these people of Zambia for having created an environment in which examinations can be secured. Once examinations are compromised, you are compromising the future of the country, because each one of us is a product of a particular examination. And so we need to safeguard these papers so that our boys and girls do not give us wrong information, because they are the future doctors, they are the future nurses. These are some of the people, you see, they are operating on a patient. They leave a pair of scissors in the body. They are a product of leakages wherever they went. So at school level, from grade 7 to grade 12, we have done the best. Now it remains with our colleagues in the Ministry of Higher Education? What are we doing with the universities, colleges as well? And I know they're also doing the best. But leakages were rampant at secondary school level. But today, it is history. And we want to thank God who speaks to individuals, and also who speaks to people severally. We can talk, we can do ABC, but when we build the house without the presence of the Divine One, we can't make it. God has been speaking to the teachers. God has been speaking to the boys and girls. I don't want to run away from this. This is a fact. This is a fact. It is God who gives us wisdom to do what we can do. The moment we begin, detaching ourselves or taking glory ourselves because of the success that we've made, leaving God aside, that is the gateway to failure. We need to uplift the name of God in all these issues that we are going through as a nation. So, examination, it is a successful story in the Ministry of Education. One day I want to be the action unit in our schools, where schools are now independent and they can be sustained. They can sustain themselves. We created an environment where the curriculum was reformed and it spoke to the wishes of the Zambian people. I may not be there at a particular time because, we are human beings. We don't last in the world. One day we can be called to go and rest. But it must remain in black and white that we had men and women in the Ministry of Education in those years who contributed towards reforming education. I want to thank the president. I want to thank the big man. I don't talk to him. No, I don't talk to him. No, but I want to thank this man for what he has done in my life. I was provincial education officer for Northern Province. And then I was retired in national interest. I never applied, no, just doing the work according to how God guided. I was retired in national interest and then appointed as the permanent secretary for Northern Province. So, what is this? And now later on I came to Lusaka. It was my first time to shake hands with the president.
Wow,
right. Yeah. Now from there again, transferred to Muchinga's, PS. So, and then I want to thank him for this thing now that he brought me to the Ministry of Education, to my roots. But President, what you have done to me, I think I appreciate, because I can reach out to many people now, to my children, to my teachers, at once. So to me, I think I will die a happy person one day. That something good happened to my life. Yeah.
Excellent, PS. Now, and I'm so happy to note that you're a very religious person. You believe in God, and so the education sector is in safe hands. But PS, we have a situation of behavior in our children in schools. And there's a lot of immorality. There's a lot of peer pressure. And then also we have seen things like what is being called comprehensive sexual education. Could you just elaborate more?
I'll elaborate more. I'll begin with the immoral behavior by the children in our schools. You see, a child is a product of two environments, the home and the school. But the most important environment is the home. The home. A child is born. The patterns of behavior that the child, observes in the parents, from the siblings, has much more to do with the future behavior of a child. We have a very big role as parents to educate the children. And even the Bible says, educate a child in the manner that you would like them to go. And when they grow, they will never depart from that. The parents are the first teachers of the children. They have an obligation to teach the child. When a child goes astray, it's the role of the parent at that age to go and scout for a child. Even Mary and Joseph, when Jesus was lost in Jerusalem, They went back to go and fetch for Jesus. What are we doing as parents? Are we looking for these boys and girls? Are we really helping the boys and girls at home? You are giving a lot of headache to the teachers. We just supplement on what is coming from the homes. The most important school is the home. When the boys come into the school system, they will mingle with the other boys and girls coming from different environments. But if a child is rooted in discipline, they will never depart from it. They will lead a comfortable life. Yes, as education, we have also a role to play as teachers, because those are our children as well. But our role is limited. We guide them, but again, they go back home. Even, no, talk of COVID. At school, they wear masks. When they go into the community, what happens? They remove the masks. So the society has a role to play. Not only there at home, the general community of Zambia, we have an obligation. We have a duty towards the children that God has given us. If I find the child misbehaving, I shouldn't say, no, uyusimwana wanga. No, that is your child. Take care of that particular child. So we need to ensure that we bring God again into our homes as parents. Our children must not be coming from broken homes in terms of behavior. We must show good patterns of behavior which the children are going to copy from us. Now, talking about comprehensive sexuality. Yeah, I've been looking at the curriculum in that area. Yeah, there are minor areas that are of concern, but not the way the people were looking at it. I want to be very frank here as an educationist. We must not be playing an artificial role. We must not be hypocrites. We must be real, even when we comment on some of these matters. Listen, Mama, in grade 8, from experience, in grade 8, we teach children about the beginning of the earth. Evolution, which detaches our children from the concept of recognizing God as a creator. Big Bang. And I've never heard any clergyman standing out in the open and condemn that kind of theory which we plant in the minds of the children in grade 8. More dangerous than the comprehensive sexuality which they talk about. People must be real. We must be congruent, not playing an artificial role. If you detach the children from the idea that God is the creator of heaven and earth, you are worse than a devil. But nobody speaks against that. Evolution, that is more deadly than comprehensive sexuality. I mean, look. Commandment number 1 says, do not have any other gods before me. And Genesis chapter 1, it says, in the beginning, God created. But in history that we want to discard, we are teaching children about evolution. That is subtracting that substance which should grow in me to recognize God as a creator. But people talk too much about comprehensive sexuality, leaving very gray areas which are more deadly than CSE. Look, Mama, and watch TV. I'll be very, very frank here. I'm not supporting, in comprehensive sexuality, we don't have homosexuality. No, we don't support lesbianism. No, those are against the Christian standards.
But are we teaching the children, for instance, how to put a condom on a man? Young children?
No, that is wrong. That we can't accept. If there are those areas, they must be discarded. And that shouldn't be on a large wide scale. But again, I want people to be very, very frank and sure. You have watched TV. Do you see that advertisement where somebody is talking about the pads? I mean, that is immoral. And nobody has argued against it. That is against our standards. And that is more deadly than comprehensive sexuality. So let us be very, very real as Zambians. What are we talking about? Do we just want the donors to give us the money? I don't like that kind of life. We must be very, 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 principled in what we say and do. Genuine. Come on. Here is on radio too. I hear an advertisement. If you want to play sex, remember to do what? to have a condom. I mean, you can't be speaking like that. And nobody has stood against that. But what is wrong is what is in school. No, let's be genuine. We are going to sit down and examine what are the areas which are not necessary, and we remove them. But you went to grade 12, Mama. You learned about sexual reproduction. How the child is born. You talk about the sperms. Are you getting me? Each one of us is a product of that kind of education. Nobody has spoken against it. What has gone wrong today? In a comprehensive sexuality, we are not promoting lesbianism. No, it is wrong. If it is there, I haven't seen it, I can't support it. We can't support homosexuality. No, it is against our ethics and our Christianity. So, in short, I'm just talking about being genuine. As we talk about these things, let us also examine other areas. Where are we coming from? Have we seen these issues I'm talking about? But above all, the more deadly is teaching children evolution, which detaches their understanding of recognizing that God is a creator. That is more harmful, more deadly than comprehensive sexuality. So in short, there has been a miscommunication. Correct. About exactly what is being taught. There is miscommunication. There is miscommunication. If there is one, and the miscommunication is, there was a video clip. I took time to analyze. There was a video clip from America where they were talking about CSE. That is not what is contained in our curriculum. So it's different. It's different, and I don't like it. The clip that was going on where young people being showed out to wear. So, in short, you are saying this is not the complication. No, this is not what we have in schools, Mama. Okay. That went viral, and it overshadowed all the good things that we do in the schools. Okay. And that is very, very wrong. It misled the people. Mama, truth is like a lion. Okay? Release it. It will defend itself. Okay? Gabriel Mwanamwari said at one time that truth is correspondent, for it does not oppose reality. The reality, we don't teach about homosexuality. We don't promote lesbianism. No. Again, Gabriel Mwanamwari said, lies have short legs, for they can easily be overtaken by the truth. What was circulating on the social media is a lie. The truth is what I'm talking about. So, Gabriel Mwanamwari, I still quote him. He said, as we wage a civilized war against, he's a priest in the Catholic Church, as we wage a civilized war against lies, we must learn from the examples of Martin Luther, Mahatma Gandhi, Socrates, and Jesus. These spoke the truth. And because they spoke the truth, they were killed or assassinated. And this shows how powerful the truth can be. But he finally said, we can, however, be consoled by what Jesus said. He said, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Me, I know the truth about this aspect. And this gives me, the strength to talk about these comparisons. Evolution, biology, the TV advancements, and what we are going through at the moment.
Great stuff, PS. As we are about to conclude, we have some questions from the online viewers.
Great.
That are watching.
Oh, great. Oh, they're watching us?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
It's a live
program. Great.
But I see a number of them that you have already comprehensively tackled. But I'll just read them out.
Yeah.
For the sake. So one, Kalalu Odia says, when is teacher recruitment?
I know, I've already answered that one.
To that one.
Yes.
Then someone says there's a trending issue that colleges of education will not be allowing admission of students.
No. Who tells you that? Government hasn't made any position on that part. What we know, students have to go to colleges. Yeah, that's a lie. Don't listen to those things. Wait until we give you guidance.
Another one says, man of the people, PS, you visited Munkolo School in
Linda, in Linda, yes.
Twashuka, Z or CS and upgrade them. You promised to upgrade them to secondary school.
Okay, yeah.
So we still wait your promise to materialize.
Valerie Mulenga. Valerie, please, what we can do, there are so many things that I'm doing in the country, what we can do, remind me even after this broadcast. I am at 0978 20 23 93. 0978 20 23 93. Call me, we discuss. I want to make a program to come and upgrade those schools before grade 10 results are out, so that those boys and girls in those schools can be accessing secondary education in those areas, because that is the policy of government. I'm giving the number, but again, it has disadvantaged me. Many people are using my name, fake Facebook, stealing money from the people. People have cried. So of social media, and they know I've got no Facebook, I'm not on Messenger, but when people see me, they say, this is the man, and they communicate. People have cried. Please, I appeal to my people in the country. Don't fall plea to those. Those are crooks. I've reported to Zikta. I've reported to other security wings. Maybe they are doing their work to arrest these culprits. I don't know what they are using. Today they use this number, tomorrow another number. People have cried. Someone came to the office, "Sir, I've come to see you. Have you ever seen me? And I saw you on Facebook." Now you're talking to the PS himself. Show me the number. They show you the number. The same number that particular person has been using.
Shame.
And somebody came at the office. He was shown to say, "Okay, you go to room 25. What happened? Somebody knocked the toilet. But I'm appealing to the people who are doing that. God is saying those things. One day you'll be found wanting. If it is not you, your children, your offsprings will pay the price for what you are doing. It is wrong to steal from innocent people. And even my people as well, please, we don't give jobs via Facebook. Don't fall prey to that. You are wasting your money. My number is this one. If you can call me, I will give you an explanation. So when they cheat you to say, use these numbers for Dr. Kalumba, they are just cheating you to believe that, yes, it is him. After all, it is a number. But pick that number and call me.
Directly.
Please, Napapat. People, but I want to use this platform. I went to the NBC 3 times.
Okay.
But people are still being swindled. It is wrong. Okay, I don't laugh at them again because of desperation.
No, but thank you so much for clarifying that, PS.
Yes.
This is a problem that is widespread on social media.
Exactly.
A lot of high-profile people's, phone numbers and images, photos are being used. So please take heed. The other one says, you promised to end leakages in the ministry and it has come to pass.
Yes,
so he's congratulating you.
Thank you.
And then someone says, PS, well articulated, kindly advice on the positioning of the ICT as autonomous department.
A lot
of teachers are due for the graduation this April 2021.
Okay.
From Xavier Simwanza.
Okay, Xavier, you are very right, because you see, this is the time when we have introduced this subject area in our schools, ICT, and it must be independent because it's very critical to the development of the nation. We must not attach it to another department. I understand it is attached to mathematics, but this must be treated as a different department altogether. In the near future, we'll interrogate on this matter and see what can be done. You are right, Xavier.
Judith Mlanga is wondering why teachers are amongst the least paid in Africa and Zambia in particular.
No, Judith, have you taken some research? Let me tell you one thing. We are not the least paid in the continent. I'm telling you, we are amongst the best paid. What has distorted our pay, Judith can bear with me, the loans that we get from different bank institutions, and that defeats the whole purpose of an attractive salary. But government now, Mr. Chimbwali, the PS admin, PSMD, he says government is going to absorb those Congolese from Izwe and the rest, so that our payslip can remain clean from all the public workers. This is worthy appreciating. What else can government do? But my friends, when that happens, don't go back again. because that will defeat the whole purpose of what government wants to do. We are not the least paid. I can tell you, no one can go to Botswana today from Zambia and leave our system. No. So the people who went to Botswana are coming back. We know them. They are coming back because our conditions are far much better than some of the countries. Believe you me, we are not the same. I'm speaking from experience. When we were employed as teachers, we were wearing plastic shoes ourselves in 1989, 1990. No, most of the people left Zambia and went to Botswana for two reasons: build a house and buy a vehicle. Today, when I address hundreds of teachers wherever I go in the country, as I go out of the assembly hall, outside vehicles are littered everywhere. Then I ask a question: who are the owners of these vehicles? As teachers. I mean, this is worthy appreciating. You know, we are not the least, Mama. Some people went to Seychelles. I can't say much. I can't say much. So learn to appreciate what we have at the moment. On the same aspect, is it Sylvia or what?
Yes.
Sylvia, I always help public workers or even teachers to say, look, here's a simple story. Okay? There was a dog, okay, which went into the countryside and got hold of a bone. Then as it was coming back to its territory, it crossed the river. There was a bridge, but now it stopped there in the midst of the river or the bridge. Then it looked into the water. It saw the image of the same dog
with the bone.
With the bone. So now it wanted to do what? To grab that bone in water.
Knowing that's it.
Yeah. So it backed. What happened?
It fell in.
It fell in the water. What does it mean? We must be contented with what we have at the moment. Let's thank God for what He has given us at the moment. We can even get some money from the bank because the banks know that we have the capacity to pay back. So let's make use of what God has given us to uplift the lives of our families and ourselves. I know it may not be perfect, but halfway loaf is better than none at all. Yeah.
Lubono Hikapulwe says,
yes.
How are you going to know what a child's interest is once they are in grade 1?
Come on. Good. You know, Lubono, listen. When a child is born, between 1 and 5 years, according to our psychology of education, this is the time when the brain is at 90%. 90%.
Wow.
This is the time when a child is very intelligent. Because this child who is 5 years, taking her or him to Russia, the language will change. Automatically, she will switch on to Russian language. But me who is 20 years or 30 years, it will be difficult because of Congolese, Israel, Bepotinama, and hatred. Our brains are distorted. So this is the prime stage when a child, the child's intelligence is at peak. So at this time, the curriculum I'm talking about, we must now revise the curriculum and ensure that the child is exposed to all the subject areas, relevant subject areas at that stage. It's a journey. And then teachers must be trained to identify the interests of a child when exposed to all these subject areas. And we must train the teachers in assessment, intense assessment, where you don't cheat, you don't lie, and give a child what he or she deserves, because what you are giving the child will decide the destiny. By the time the child is in grade 7, their career pathway is already determined. You know that this child is good, in music, art, mathematics, sciences. Then, from there, we must begin a journey. Those who are good in music, for example, let them go to selected schools that offer music and nothing else. And government, as I speak now, we have procured a lot of equipment as I speak, which should go into all the schools. In terms of computers, we have more computers than before. Every child will have access to a computer. I'm testifying here. Government has done its best now. Just wait and see. We have enough material that will go to all the children in the country to make the teaching of ICT a reality. So, Lobono, it's not difficult. We are professionals. We are trained into that. We are going to take an advantage of the God-given intelligence in the children.
Excellent, PS. On that really informative note, roundtable viewers, we have come to the end of episode 1, season 2 of the Roundtable Talk. This afternoon, we featured the Permanent Secretary from the Ministry of General Education, Technical Services, Dr. Jobbics Kalumba. Doc, we are so grateful that you took time off your very busy schedule. We know you have a very tight schedule.
Thank you.
To come and just explain to the nation on one or two things. And we're very confident that general education is in competent hands. And we hope that next time we require that you come again and clarify some things. You will come back.
I'll come. Thanks very much. I'm so grateful as well for it.
And I think that let us, take time as educators to just remind the people that they need to sanitize, wash their hands.
Correct.
And mask up. Let's mask up. This is COVID time. Let's mask up.
Thank you.
Protect the next person from COVID.
Thank you.
The sanitizer.
Okay.
And to make sure that the COVID-19 second wave does not affect us.
No, it shouldn't.
We did very well the first one. We were the fourth nation in the world, and the first one in Africa to the best tourist. Not tourists, but just safest.
Okay.
Country.
It is true because you see, we are also the first in the whole world in terms of education. Because while other countries close their schools, even developed countries, for Zambia, exam classes not closed, they opened and they wrote examinations, and we are marking now. I think we are the best in the world.
Thank you so much.
We thank the president for having opened the schools.
Thank the president.
Thank you.
Till next week on the Roundtable Talk. My name is Nakiwe, your host. Good afternoon.